Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine scorching heat waves baking Delhi, floods inundating Assam, chronic air pollution making simply breathing a daily struggle in major cities.
Intense.
This isn't some distant projection, is it?
No, not at all.
This is the immediate, visceral, lived reality of climate change in India. It's happening right now, on the ground, affecting millions. And our mission today is to dive deep into a powerful, genuinely hopeful force emerging directly from this urgency. Sustainability-focused startups.
Right.
These innovative companies aren't just offering climate-friendly solutions, they're actively reshaping India's green economy from the grassroots up.
That's the key part, the grassroots.
We're going to explore the growing urgency of India's climate situation, meet some of these incredible innovators, understand their unique impact, and unpack the massive economic opportunity they represent.
Sounds great.
This deep dive is designed to give you a true shortcut to being well-informed about a critical and truly transformative development in our world.
And what's truly fascinating here is how quickly the environmental emergency has shifted. It's gone from, an abstract concept to a tangible daily challenge for millions across India.
Exactly.
And while we do see promising policy frameworks from the government, things like the National Electric Mobility Mission or the National Solar Mission.
Which sound good on paper.
Right. They sound good, but there's often a significant implementation gap.
Okay.
This is precisely where these climate tech startups are stepping in. They offer solutions that are faster, more agile, and incredibly scalable.
Faster and more agile, I like that.
Yeah. And they're tackling environmental challenges head on, from the bustling Tier 1 cities all the way to remote rural villages.
So it sounds like these grassroots innovators are really bridging that gap you mentioned.
They are.
And when we talk about this rapid rise in India's climate tech startup ecosystem, it's not just about a few niche players, is it? It sounds like they're innovating across a hugely diverse range of sectors.
Oh, absolutely.
What does that full spectrum approach look like?
It's astonishingly broad. You're seeing innovation in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, waste management, EV infrastructure, water conservation, even circular packaging. It's really across the board.
Wow.
To give you a clearer picture of this homegrown hero movement, let's look at a few compelling examples.
Okay, let's hear them.
Consider S4S Technologies. Their innovation isn't just about solar drying farm waste.
Right.
It's about fundamentally transforming agricultural waste from, a liability into a high-value asset.
How do they do that?
By dehydrating produce right there, on site, they create value-added food products. This effectively reduces emissions by preventing spoilage, and it creates new revenue streams for farmers.
That's smart. Less waste, more income.
Exactly. Then there's Krimanshi in Rajasthan.
Okay.
They're tackling food and organic waste, yes, but their real insight is turning it into nutritious cattle feed.
Ah, interesting.
So this isn't just waste management, it's a closed-loop system. It demonstrates a true circular economy in agriculture, preventing landfill waste while creating a valuable resource.
A full circle. Makes sense.
Or take Battery Smart. Their genius isn't just a battery swap network. It's a complete rethinking of EV economics.
Oh, so?
By decoupling the battery cost from the vehicle itself and offering instant power on demand through swapping, they're directly tackling the two biggest barriers to EV adoption in India.
Yeah.
The high upfront price and, range anxiety.
Right, the big ones.
It makes EV ownership more like an affordable service, not this high-cost asset you have to buy outright.
That changes the game completely.
It really does. And we have Devasta, who are revolutionizing construction.
Construction, how?
They use 3D printing technology to build low-cost homes using sustainable concrete.
3D printed homes?
Yes. And what's disruptive here is their ability to deliver affordable, eco-friendly housing at speed. It cuts both cost and carbon emissions, making sustainable living accessible to a much broader population.
Incredible. Affordable and green housing.
And finally, let's mention carbon managers. They're turning organic waste into bio-CNG.
Bio-CNG, so like natural gas from waste.
That's essentially it. Natural gas derived from organic matter. Their innovation brilliantly tackles two crises simultaneously: the growing problem of waste disposal and the need for cleaner fuel.
Wow.
It's a direct bridge from trash to sustainable energy.
That's a strong claim you made earlier about disrupting traditional industries, a complete paradigm shift. How does that actually play out on the ground? Can you give us an example where we see a traditional sector truly being upended by one of these sustainable models, not just, tweaked?
Well, let's go back to Battery Smart again.
Yeah.
Think about it. Traditionally, buying an electric vehicle means buying an expensive battery that eventually degrades, and that's a big part of the cost.
Right, the battery is key.
Battery Smart completely flips that. They turn the battery into a service. You don't own the battery, you just swap it when you need power.
Okay.
This isn't just a small tweak to the auto industry, it's a fundamental reimagining of the entire ownership model for EVs.
I see.
And crucially, it makes them accessible to millions who simply couldn't afford them before. That's real disruption.
That's a powerful point about accessibility. And that brings us to the broader impact. If we connect this innovation to the bigger picture, what makes these startups so powerful beyond just the technology itself?
Well, it's their holistic impact, really. They are actively reducing carbon emissions, yes, and promoting these circular economy models that minimize waste and maximize resource utility.
Okay.
But it goes further than that.
It sounds like their reach is particularly distinctive, too. You mentioned they're extending clean solutions to often underserved rural and semi-urban markets.
Exactly. Places that traditional businesses might overlook entirely.
Right.
And they're demonstrating a highly collaborative approach. They're partnering not just with businesses, but with governments, large corporations, NGOs.
So building bridges.
Yes, to expand their scale and reach even further. And this raises an important question. What's the deeper societal impact here, beyond just the tech and environmental gains?
What is it?
Well, they're creating green jobs. They're empowering youth with new skills, and they're driving comprehensive rural development. It's about building a more resilient and equitable society overall.
That focus on local roots really resonates. But it begs the question, while the solutions are local, how easily do they truly translate to other regions? What are the biggest hurdles in adapting an Indian solution for, say, a context in Africa or Southeast Asia, which might face similar challenges?
That's the real challenge and also the immense opportunity, right? The core technologies and business models are often highly adaptable because, well, they're built to address fundamental needs in developing economies. Affordable energy, clean water, waste management, sustainable agriculture. These are universal needs in many places.
It's true.
The hurdles are often about things like regulatory differences, local consumer behavior, which can vary a lot, and of course, establishing reliable supply chains in new markets.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, the practicalities.
Yeah.
But the strong track record in India provides a really powerful blueprint and, crucially, proof of concept for these other regions.
So it's not just about an environmental shift then, but a profound economic one too.
Oh, definitely.
Sustainability is no longer just an environmental issue. It has rapidly become a huge economic opportunity.
Precisely. And you see this reflected in investment trends. India's climate startup ecosystem is attracting growing interest from investors who are specifically looking to combine significant environmental and social impact with solid financial returns.
The impact investing angle.
Exactly. We're seeing active climate-focused funds and enablers right here in India. You've got names like Avana Capital, the Climate Angels Network, Omnivore, Rain Matter Foundation, which is backed by Zerodha.
Okay.
There's also venture capitalists' dedicated ESG vertical, and even big international players like Breakthrough Energy Ventures, which, is backed by Bill Gates.
So serious money is noticing.
Very serious money. It's a clear trend. As more and more investors shift their focus towards ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance metrics.
Right. ESG is everywhere now.
Indian startups that can demonstrate measurable impact alongside their profit potential are seeing a dramatic rise in attention and investment. They're hitting that sweet spot.
Makes sense. Is there data to back that up?
Yes, and here's the compelling data point. Recent reports suggest that India's climate tech sector could attract over $15 billion in investment by 2030.
15 billion.
$15 billion. By 2030, that's a staggering figure, almost hard to wrap your head around.
Wow.
It signals a fundamental shift in both markets and mindsets toward a greener, more sustainable future. It's not niche anymore.
Okay, so bringing it back to you, the listener. Solving the climate crisis is undeniably a shared mission. It's clear it's going to require immense collaboration between these innovators, investors, policymakers, and frankly, all of us as individuals.
Absolutely. It has to be a collective effort.
Yeah.
And there are concrete ways you can contribute.
Like what?
Well, you can actively support climate startups by choosing sustainable products and services in your daily life. Make conscious choices.
Your consumer power.
Right. You can also invest or perhaps donate to organizations that are working specifically in clean tech and sustainability if you're able.
Okay.
Encourage corporations, maybe the ones you work for or interact with, to partner with these Indian innovators. And crucially, just spread awareness.
Yeah.
Talk about it in your own community to inspire change.
Every bit helps.
It really does.
India truly has the potential, it sounds like, to become a global leader in sustainable innovation.
Huge potential.
But for that to happen, it requires us to nurture and empower these incredible startups that are driving this green transformation.
That support system is vital.
So to summarize what we've unpacked today, India's sustainability startups are really showing us what's possible when passion meets purpose.
Well said.
They are transforming what seem like insurmountable challenges into incredible opportunities, creating entirely new markets and solutions along the way.
Yet turning problems into progress.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a provocative thought for you to mull over. The climate crisis may indeed be the greatest challenge of our time, but is it also the single greatest catalyst for innovation, collaboration, and systemic change globally, with India potentially leading the way?
A powerful question.
What possibilities does this unlock for other regions across the world when solutions are forged in the very crucible of urgent need? Something to think about.